What's up you guys, welcome to another Python tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you more stuff about strings. So remember in the past tutorial I taught you that whatever is surrounded between quotations is considered a string. Now I'm going to add a bunch of stuff to that. So type along with me and you'll know all about it. So type just a simple print statement and pass it in a string. Oh, sorry, you guys can see mo plus mahjoub. That's my last name. So if you run this program, it would sum these two strings together. So if you run it, string with a string, we're good. And if you want space between them, you can use this way and then run it again. It would give it some space. And if you're dying to keep it that way, you can just put another plus sign, do it like that, and add some space. And if you run it again, it would give you the same result. But hey, you're talking about strings and you're using plus signs. Like how is that related to strings? So this is what I want to talk about. Imagine if you're using a string and you're trying to sum it with a number. Look what would happen. If you put 5 here and you run your program, you will immediately get an error. And this error would say, hey, there is an integer and you're trying to sum a string with an integer. What's wrong with you? So what you can do to solve this problem, you can use like multiple ways. You can surround your number with quotations and that will treat it as a string and you can print it out. Or you can actually convert your number to a string. So 5 becomes a string, and then if you run it, it will do the same thing. But you guys cannot have a number summed with a string because Python will give you an error unless you use a comma. If you use a comma and put any numbers that you want and you run it, it will just print it, because you can't sum a string with an integer. You can only sum a string with another string. So this is basically how strings work, and there is only one specific case where you can put a number next to a string and it will work perfectly. This is the only case when will it work. When you multiply and you put, like for example 7, it would run perfectly, but it will treat this as a multiplication, and it would print mo 7 times. So if you run this, it would print mo 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 mo. So these are basically the cases of when can you sum, or how can you sum a string with a number, and the cases where you can and can't. And guys, just remember that try to always sum a string with a string and an integer with an integer, unless you're doing something unique like this. You're trying to print mo 7 times or something like that. And yeah, guys, I'm just going to give you the hints, and then as soon as you get all this data, all this information from me, use it and play around with it, because this is how you learn. Yeah, if you think that any of the things that I've taught is weird or you're just not getting it, just comment below and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in future tutorials. Peace out.